Welcome to another episode of Soaring Through Chaos. In fact, there's so much chaos every day, something changes. I just found out something changed, and I may have to go back to California because of the COVID 19 related emergencies there. And in the midst of all this, with risk to life, risk to health, and jobs and all that, I find that there are some people doing amazing work. They're supporting community, they're bringing people together, and these are the people I talk to. One of them I met actually almost during the COVID times. I got to know her earlier, and that's Snigdha Munipally. Snigdha, tell us about you. You've been doing some incredible work before and during these times. Tell us what you've been up to lately.
Okay, thank you so much for that introduction. Uh, uh, and thank you so much for inviting me for this interview. Just giving you a little brief about myself. I am Snigdha Munipally, based out of Hyderabad. I I had work experience of 3 years with Uber into typical corporate life, and then moved out of it and taken my break currently. Right now, I am a singing bowl healer, and I conduct sessions with singing bowl. It is at the same time one-on-one sessions for meditation and sound therapy. At the same time, I also take up one-on-one sessions for emotional healing, for people to feel confident about themselves when they go out, for people to heal from their past, for people to accept the situations. And there's so many, and it's such a beautiful experience to watch them grow in their lives, because I think growth, self-growth is one of the things that people somewhere misses out. This is like a race, like this lifestyle, this corporate life and everything in between these all. I think self-growth is one of the major things that people miss out. And I feel really lucky that I got a chance to work with these people and help them to grow in their lives. And also, I'm a solo traveler, and during the lockdown I have been missing traveling so much.
Well, first of all, thank you for your work. It's so rare to meet people, especially in India, who are focusing on emotional intelligence, or emotional healing, and singing bowls, which originated in Asia, particularly in Tibet and other places, is definitely one effective way. How did you get into all these things? How did you find out about these things?
Frankly, I have been experimenting all my life. So I am someone who just find my own way into everything. And I think right from 18, I have been this black sheep of the family who really want to go out, explore, do things on our own, and stuff like that. And initially, I started with poetry, performing poetry, and then storytelling, and then moved into doodling, and then and then kept changing, like kept experimenting. And there are a million things that I failed in, very frankly. That includes stand-up comedy, that includes belly dancing. At the same time, they were things that I had an opportunity to explore them, which made me fall in love with them. And I remember traveling to Oroville, and and just entering a random shop, and I just saw this beautiful bowl, and I was like, that's fancy. And trust me, when I entered, I never had any intention to buy anything. But when I exit, there was something. There was kind of like, I really want to try this out. Uh, and I just got it back, and I've been practicing singing bowl for past 2 years. And it's really amazing, like how like me as a person, meditation really do not suit me in terms of like I really lack focus. I know it just builds a lot of anxiety and stuff like that. And but then when I meditate alone with singing bowl, it just develops my focus. It just makes me feel good, kind of like push away all my thoughts, just make my mind very calm. I think it's just a matter of finding what you're more comfortable with and then experimenting with it. And solo traveling just happened quite randomly. Like I just needed my headspace, and I have been reading a lot about solo traveling. And imagine in a South Indian family, like being a woman opting for solo traveling, it wasn't an easy journey. I remember when I went for my first solo travel, my mom literally cried because she was like in so much panic. But now, whenever she sees me, whenever she see me little off, she's like, "Why didn't you go for solo travel? Like, why didn't you just go travel, take a break, come back?" Because they have seen me transferring from a person, they have seen me transferring, they have seen my growth, they have seen me developing my confidence, finding my own path. And I think that gave them a lot of confidence for a parent to let their child do whatever she wants to.
That's really amazing. In fact, bring up something very important. As a parent myself, I would be careful. Our daughter did travel a little bit in Rajasthan 10 years ago when she came from the United States, and we were
Yeah.
concerned but not paranoid. Do you have any tips for women who want to solo travel in places like India? What are the things to do or not to do? How can they take care of themselves and really enjoy that growth experience?
First thing is that for me, India has been I know like there's a lot of pre-claimed notion about India, women, solo traveling. These three taglines do not go with each other. But all I can say is that India is an amazing place, and for any woman to begin her solo traveling with. I personally found it really safe, although I did had incidents, wherein I was very uncomfortable and I was like, okay, how do I, get out of this situation? But I think it's just that, when you start traveling, you understand how to deal with situations, you understand how to deal with people. And all I can say is that, pick up a place that you like it, like that might be, that depends on you if you're a beach person or a mountain person or someone who just want to explore, culture or tradition and everything. And I would say if you're very much conscious and your family is really concerned, then to begin with you can start with a girls group. There are a lot and lot of organizations which conducts like group events, and also for you to begin with you can just start, like, because when you travel in a group, you understand what are the things that you need to take care going forward, like when you're opting for solo traveling. So for that, that's a good initiation. At the same time, if you really want like headspace and you just want to go there, then go for it. At the same time, be little careful about pre-booking is super important, because I don't want anyone to be in a state wherein they don't have a place to crash in and it's just getting dark and this is like a very new place and all. One tip that I can give you guys is that have more conversations and interactions with the local. They are amazing. They are welcoming. At the same time, they are the ones who will give you very accurate suggestions, more than Google or whatever it is. So have more connections with the local. Know more about the food, the cuisine over there, because every cuisine narrates a story of that particular place. So just keep experimenting, keep exploring there, and it's really fun.
So this is great. This is great. I mean, both these things you mentioned, and many more that you mentioned, which is using singing bowls, crystal bowls, as well as the travel and all that, are great growth experiences for sure. In what way have these things and other experiments you did, in what way did they change you? Or in what way did they help you transform Snigdha?
Okay. First thing is that when you start, when someone starts working on self growth, it just develops an intense power in you. Like the more you discover about yourself, it just makes you like a crazy woman out there with so much of excitement, with so much of enthusiastic, and with so much of passion to explore things and to grow in life. Self-discovery started right from the time when I was 18. So it's been a while for me, and I have been trying out, as I said, I have been trying out different things and seeing which one makes me feel comfortable, which one makes me feel confident, and which one is helping me to heal, and in which these rightly, as you have rightly mentioned about singing bowl and travel, played a major role. Singing bowl, it made me calm and composed. It's basically my thoughts were like this, and when I started practicing singing bowl, they are compressed to this. So I believe that I'm more clear right now, and I believe that it just avoid. I prefer to avoid a lot of clouds in my head through singing bowl, and it did add a lot of value in my personal life and my personal growth. And at the same time, traveling is another world. It's happiness. It's me having having that headspace. Some I personally feel very suffocated where I'm being among like buildings and corporate life and home, and so many suggestions from people, so many things that people be like, you shall do this, you shall do that, and so many signing up on so many expectations from our surroundings, from friends, family, and stuff like that. And traveling is like a place wherein it's me alone on an island. That's it. It's just me. It's all about me. It's all about my likes, my dislikes, my interest, and everything. It's just about me, and I'm my own favorite. So it's just a place where you pamper yourself, where you treat yourself like a child, where you ask yourself what are the things that matter to you, what are the things that are important, what are the things that you wanna keep in priority. And through traveling, there are a lot of things that clear in my head. There were a lot of unresolved issues, uh, unable to tag few emotions, and these were the things I was able to open the door like bravely and just resolve them. And mainly when I say resolve, it's all about accepting them and just being with them, because thoughts are something that they will continue throughout your life, but it's more about you, how comfortable you are living with them.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're really preaching to the choir here. I've been a big advocate of it, and I found it in midlife. I'm really grateful that you found it in quarter life or very early in life, which is fantastic. One of the images people have, especially when it comes to travel and other modalities, is that they're very expensive. But actually, my experience has been different. So, is it really true that traveling has to be expensive, or for example, using singing bowls or other things have to be expensive? Is it possible to do it on a budget? Is it possible to find these kinds of things that can help in self-growth on a very reasonable budget, say for example for lower middle class people?
All I can say is that I understand your boundaries, but at the same time, it's just a passion for you to grow. Uh, for me, paying bills at pub don't matter to me. I save them and I invest them in my travel. So for me, I have a priority of what are the things that matter to me. Experiences matter to me. I don't spend a lot on my clothes, like on my shoes, like a regular girl, like who's like in around 24, who just loves to dress up, likes to wear expensive stuff. I had this phase maybe when I was like 21, little conscious about, which brand am I carrying and all. But lately when I started traveling, I know my priorities. First, you need to set up your own priorities. And regarding traveling, no, it isn't expensive at all. Especially during this 2020, where it is so easy to connect with people. There are websites. There are few websites wherein you can actually go and just stay with someone else at some part of the world and help them in small things like taking care of the pets or taking care of the farm, or just do some digital marketing for the cafe, and in return they give you accommodation and free food and free Wi-Fi like that. So it's for you to have an experience, and all you're investing is your flight tickets. There's nothing more than that you're investing. So it's all about finding platforms, and there's so many ways that people can opt for. There's so many guest houses which are in Uti, Kodai, and all, wherein they are being acquired by people from Germany and so like that, and they have their own lifestyle over there, and they have been actively looking forward for someone who can take them up, renovate it, and use them like hostels or like Airbnb rooms. And you can just be that person who's just at the front desk and who's just there to take care of the entire thing, entire administration, and in return you'll be earning, which is a great thing. And we do have travel hostels which are super cheap, so budget wise it is never a problem. At the same time, I would say that to go for experience rather than luxury. So it like it doesn't matter for me it doesn't matter if I just enter a very kind of like 5-star hotel. It's some like usually when I travel I don't really enter into luxury expensive places, because I prefer to kind of like save that even a penny, so that I have more amount of experiences and all.
So could you give what are your favorite places? Which places did you like the most when you traveled around in the recent past?
First thing, okay, I have a list of them actually. Um, Obviously, I do love Goa for its culture, for the people. They're so welcoming. And in Kochi, I love Binale. So there's an art festival called as Binale, Kochi Binale. It goes on for 3 months, and it's a very famous international art festival. And the best part about Binale is that every street of Kochi comes together to pull up that event for an entire 3 month. And in that 3 months, every street is either filled with art cafe, art gallery, or street art, like every street. So it's like a big festival. It's amazing. And Varanasi, for the very strange vibe that it gives. I mean, it's a beautiful place to be in. And you find your own answers just sitting at the ghat, just looking at the Ganga. Like, it's just so serene and beautiful. And there's so many experiences that I've been, like, I remember just stargazing in Kodai, and I've traveled to Himachal. Himachal is like everyone's favorite, don't have to even mention that. And especially, like, it's just, when I say experiences, just imagine, in Sikkim, I was literally, it was like -4 or something that night, and I was freezing, and we were at the snow area, and the happiness was just having Maggie at that point of time. Like just a 5 rupees Maggie, just sitting at a freezing place, just stargazing, just enjoying that vibe. And my most favorite place is Auroville on this planet. I would say it will forever be my favorite place. There's no religion, no race, nothing, no political influence or nothing. It's just about people. It's about, when we talk about community, I think Auroville stands at, like, for me, it just stands at the top. In an afforestation project or anywhere else, you get equal pay from the Auroville community, which is a great thing. And it has been a home for more than 3,000 or 4,000 foreigners, and it just accepts everyone.
Yeah, I've been to Auroville once, and it's like an international mecca where people literally
Yeah.
come from around the world. But now, as you mentioned, things have slowed down with COVID-19, with the corona, and travel has almost come to a halt. Have you still been traveling? And if not, how has your life changed because of the pandemic?
I haven't been traveling, unfortunately. Uh, and I do not have much intentions to travel sometime soon, considering the COVID situation. At the same time, what happened, like one of the things that is majorly missing in my life is obviously traveling. How I was able to you know, cope up with the fact that I cannot really travel anymore for anytime soon, is that I just find alternative ways to fill in that, in terms of like going back and writing again. Like when I was 18, I used to love writing, and even during my childhood, like I used to just love writing. And taking and I'm just using this break to write. At the same time, when I started, working on self growth, the techniques or the tiniest things that I have observed, I've been writing down in a book, more like an activity based work, or giving a structure to my sessions or my workshops. When now I do have like a pre content wherein I can instantly accept any opportunities that I come from. Earlier, when I used to conduct workshops and all, it's like I used to accept and then I start like writing down, okay, what are the things I should be doing and all. But now I already have a pre-material over here. At the same time, I have decided to utilize, this time in order to help others grow. I mean, and it's a beautiful journey when you watch others grow in, when people approach you saying that, hey, I want to grow in my life. And this is something what very minute people understand or like try to do it. And it's just a great happiness. And I'm like, welcome to the tribe. So it's fun.
So wonderful, wonderful. In fact, what I find interesting is that almost a year ago you were given that award, 25 under 25. Tell us about it. What was that award about, and what does it mean to you?
So they so 25 artists who were below 25 were awarded 25 under 25 award, and I was very honored to receive that. Unfortunately, that date I was traveling to Uti. It was a big miss from my side, and I totally apologize to the organization also. And I was like backpacking to Uti and traveling over there. And that day I have asked my parents to go ahead and receive it. Actually, thank you for bringing this up. It's a very emotional moment because, as I said, belonging to a South Indian family, being kind of like black sheep, being loud, having my own opinions and stuff like that. Right from 18, it was really hard for my parents to accept me, and it was more like a back and forth process wherein I take a one step down, they take a one step down, and we try to meet on the same line. Um, and uh, and that was the first time wherein my parents went to. I usually don't invite them to any of my events, and I'm like, they're very much excited, and I'm like, no, don't. And
You keep them
that
at a
but
safe
that
distance, huh?
yeah, like even if they come, I'm like, and they're not coming close to me. So I don't know, I've been this person all my life. And that was the first time wherein I was like, hey, can you just go ahead and take the award? And if you can't, it's okay, I can ask my friends. And the way I asked also was like, it's okay, I'm just giving an option, and it's okay if you say no to it. Like, I so wanted them to say no to it, actually. But they agreed to it, they were actually happy about it. And then they enter like I was in contact with the volunteer over there because I want my parents to be like sorted out in terms of like seating, in terms of like what next, you're going onto the stage, or like coordinating with them. And then the volunteer calls me, like I was just at a cafe chilling, looking around the view, enjoying. And he just calls me and he's like, do you know what your dad did? I was like, not again. I was like, oh my God, like, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I know dad would have messed it up and stuff like that. And he's like, wait, I'll call you later. And I was just getting on pains, but you're so lucky to have your dad and stuff like that. I was like, okay, now I really want to find out what did I do. Apparently, he went onto the stage, and among like 1,200 people, he apologized me, saying that I'm sorry for not supporting you during your entire journey of not believing in your dreams, but today I really feel proud. And
Wow, that's
he
huge.
requested, it's
That's
seriously
huge.
huge. Like, and he requested all the parents to keep supporting and believing in their child's dreams. I'm literally getting goosebumps, actually.
Wow, that's amazing.
uh, I mean, for someone who's in his late 50s, walking up to a stage, apologizing to someone who's half of his age is not a small thing. And often I and dad have like the male ego stuff thing going on at home. Uh, and when I came back, I could not even have eye contact with him for 2 or 3 days because I was just so overwhelmed by his gesture. And the third day I just went to him and I'm like, you never told that to me directly. Like I was not even, I didn't even witness when you said that. And he's like, okay, like I did that. That's a big thing. Calm down. So it was really good. I mean, it was something very special, actually.
That's amazing, and that was for your artwork. So I hear news that you will be actually traveling around the world. Is that true? You'll be traveling in foreign places as well. Tell us about it
Yes.
if it's already news to your friends and all that.
So basically, I always had this thing in my mind that I really wanted to explore India. Major reason behind is that when I see my cousins and my friends who move abroad, it's really hard. Like when they come back to India, it's so much like you need to be with a family, or you have so many friends to catch up, and you just have very limited period of time, right, in your hand. And some people kind of like be like, oh, you gotta look at the world, that's so beautiful. India is like, okay, like, it's fine type. But for me, like, exploring India is something really big. Reason behind is that I'm sure even you would agree with the fact that every state, every region have its own culture. Like you take example of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, like even though there's like a Telugu speaking states, but then if you just travel to the remote regions, the slangs vary, the language varies, the culture varies, the cuisine varies, and even the in the way they dress up, everything, the jewelry, everything varies. I mean, imagine in like one state, this so you can find so much of variation than whatever the entire India. It's crazy. I mean, when I just started doing math, it just blew my mind. And that's exactly why I've always felt so excited to travel in India. And finally, and I have visited to all the favorite places that I always wanted to. Now I am all set to move to UK in January, and I'm just looking forward to travel as much as I can.
Yeah, well, first, I agree with you. I have traveled to 22 states in India. I traveled as a child also because I got some scholarship to travel
Ah,
to the Western Himalayan Mountaineering Institute in Manali. And the scholarship was adequate for me to go and visit from Bombay. I had never been north of Bombay to New Delhi, to Lucknow, sorry, New Delhi, Chandigarh, Ambala, Manali, Kulu, and it just changed my life exactly as you're saying. So I'm a big fan of budget travel. I came from the lower middle class. My dad was a postman, but it was possible to travel even in those days. I think now, as you've said correctly, there are many more options. And also in Andhra and Telangana, that area, I have been to two places. One was
okay,
Palakamandi. Palakamandi is that little pocket where
okay,
on the other side is Orissa. It's actually the road crisscrosses between Orissa and I think it's Andhra. And the
yeah,
people
Andhra.
speak both Telugu as well as Odia. But what's interesting, Telugu, Odia, Hindi, and local tribal languages. So it's
Oh,
amazing to see people in these small villages speaking multiple languages and communicating effectively, which you won't find in Hyderabad, Hindi and Telugu and other languages again. So it's very, very multicultural. So anybody out there who hasn't traveled in India, you're missing out big time. Please do travel. And yes, please safe. There are many options to be safe with friends, with family, with even strangers. And yes, right now it's not easy. I've only gone to rural Rajasthan during this COVID time, but things will open up. Do you have any other suggestions for people on self growth? Any ideas on how people can continue to grow in their life and what it means to you?
all I can say is that give yourself space and time to grow. Uh, Try observing the small changes that happens in your body, or how your mind is reflecting slash reacting to the situations. And self growth is all about kind of like able to handle your own emotions, able to channelize your energy into the field that you wish to do, being focused. And this all things will happen when you have clear head, when you when you just remove the clouds in your mind, then you know what is your goal, then you know what is your purpose of your life, then you know what are the things that kind of like excite you. It's all about knowing about yourself and growing as a person. And it's a very beautiful journey. Selfhood is a very beautiful journey to see yourself growing into someone that you wish to be. I strong suggestion, take out some time. I know you guys, everyone got their like busy life, uh, busy work schedule, busy with handling relationships, and there's so many things that you guys are, everyone is trying to balance out. At the same time, it's very important to take some time off for yourself. Uh, and what self growth does is that it gives you an intense power to be anyone that you wish to be. It helps you grow to the person that you always wanted to be. And this whole thing happens, when you clear your clouds, when you see what is your initial goals, what is the purpose of your existence, of your life, what are the things that you want to do, what are the things that you like doing. It's all about knowing more about yourself, connecting more about yourself, and it's a very beautiful journey. And strongly recommend everyone to kind of like at least spend 1 hour in a month. I think it's something manageable. So at least spend 1 hour in a month just trying to be with yourself, like self-pampering in the way that you like, asking yourself more questions. And there are actually various techniques that you can follow, which is actually available on internet, or else you can I would love to help you guys. You guys can reach out to me, or if at all you want any other suggestions, or if you want to go for Reiki, or there are different type of therapies also, or musical therapy like that, then do pin me. I can help you connect with multiple people who can help you channelize your energies. And it's all about being more focused on the things that are important to you, and and just living your life to the fullest, being happy in everything that you do, having carrying gratitude, and just enjoying every single moment. Like every small thing looks amazing.
Well, Snigdha, thanks again for joining us. I barely knew you when I think about it before this call. We had talked a few times with a lot of common friends, but I'm really grateful that you shared your journey. And also to people out there, we will give links to Snigdha's social media links and also mine, so you can directly talk to Snigdha. She has much to offer. It wasn't easy to be where she is, and much of our growth comes during the most uncomfortable situations. So discomfort is something we avoid all our life. But when we are out of our comfort zone, there's possibilities of growth. And Snigdha is a living example of that. To have faced a lot of these challenges, to have even faced resistance early on from her own friends and family, to have grown through that, to even get acceptance from her dad is amazing. And good luck to you as you go around the world. And hopefully you'll come back and share what you've learned with people again back home in India. And really amazing to hear all your stories. And to people out there, I'm always looking for more stories. Maybe I'm going to take a short break because of the COVID-19 emergencies I'm facing too. But I'll be back, and we will continue to share stories. It's very important that we support each other, take care of ourselves during these challenging times, and continue on the journey of life without giving up to it, So thanks again, Snigdha,
Thank you so
and
much
please
for
stay in
inviting me.
touch.
It was great pleasure talking to you.
You too. Bye now.
Awesome. Bye everyone.
Bye.